Today I want to talk about Mario and his presence at the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, because out of all the franchises that I will cover and talk about on this channel in lead up to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct happening on April 2nd, Mario has the biggest shot of being there in a big way. A few different reasons for this. One, it's Mario's 40th anniversary. Two, Mario Day has come and gone with a number of different discounts and celebrations, and if there was any game actually announced on Mario Day, I am unaware of it, to be clear, because I'm filming this video ahead of time. I'm actually on vacation right now when you're watching this. But three, we have already seen Mario Kart teased in the Nintendo Switch 2 first look trailer, and the thing about that is that Nintendo actually has a history of teasing their launch game as the first game you've ever seen on a new piece of hardware, such as Breath of the Wild, showing up first for the Nintendo Switch first look trailer, and then ultimately that was the big launch game for the system. And I believe we are looking at the same situation with the new Mario Kart game, and just on paper from a sales perspective, that is an obvious strategy for Nintendo to go with because of how ultimately successful Mario Kart 8 Deluxe became. So I want to unpack all of the different Mario game possibilities that we could walk away with seeing at this Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Before we get on the same page with all of that, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And I want to first kick it off with the most likely, and the one we just mentioned, Mario Kart. It's gonna be there. You can take that to the bank. We already saw it in the first look trailer. We know that a few different gimmicks and things are probably included in this game, such as up to 24 racers in the multiplayer mode, of course being primarily online, I'm assuming, or even just racing with CPUs. I don't think you could have 24 players locally, even with LAN player stuff. I think that would be like absolutely absurd, probably a limit of 8 or something like that local. But regardless, 24 racers all at once. I think that you're going to have some brand new, very creative items. Will we see the return of things like gravity mechanics from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? It's possible, because I think they're going to want to include tracks from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's going to be hard to actually outdo the number of courses that they delivered with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because it has 96 playable courses. But yeah, we're going to get the big Mario Kart blowout that we've been waiting for. There may be some kind of refuel system if you watch some of the really deep analysis videos of what has been seen so far in like the 8 to 10 seconds of footage or whatever we got in the Switch 2 first look trailer. But there's a lot of reason to be hyped for this. It's visually maybe not like groundbreaking or anything like that, but there is a lot more level of detail in the textures. The courses look way more wide and vast. And could there even be some kind of single player mode that none of us saw coming in this kind of Forza Horizon style, where you can actually traverse wide open tracks, collect items, you know, maybe have something of an adventure play in there. Diddy Kong Racing, for example, you have some boss fights in different areas you can unlock from traversing in a single player mode. There's all types of potential surprises that Nintendo has up their sleeves for Mario Kart, and it's going to be at this event, so you can take that one to the bank. The next title that is just as likely, in my opinion, to be there, and it may indeed be the show closer for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, is none other than the next mainline 3D Mario, because Mario Odyssey, if you can believe it, came out in October of 2017. So by time we find out about this one, it will have almost been 8 years since the last major 3D Mario came out. I'm not counting Bowser's Fury. It was a test spin-off game, not a mainline 3D Mario. So it's been a long time for 3D Mario, and I think he's coming back in a big way. The jury is still out on whether or not it's an open world Mario experience, or whether or not it's something that just takes the traditional level-based formula but elevates it to a new level. That can definitely be done. Playing through Astrobot recently, I realized just how enjoyable 3D platformers can be with modern-looking visuals and things, and really great, unique gameplay ideas. I think Nintendo has had all the time in the world to get super creative with this one, so I'm personally extremely pumped for it. In fact, I personally hope that we may see something like Mario traversing through other Nintendo character worlds, some kind of universal multiverse type travel for Mario. I think that could be a really fun gimmick. Maybe it's just tied to Mario specifically and not necessarily other franchises, where he goes to Mario 64 themed worlds in that time frame of his lineage, or maybe we have him, you know, also go into the Sunshine era and Flood comes back for certain levels, and then you have Galaxy Gravity themes come back. Like, Nintendo could go all out with this stuff if they went franchise wide across the board for Nintendo as a whole. I mean, imagine Mario in the world of Hyrule and some of the different things you could create with that. Metroid, Kirby, even like all of the cross promotion there from a franchise standpoint would be incredible. But I think this is going to be the big 3D Mario game, and I think we're going to see it at this event, and it's probably most likely the show closer of this particular event. So from there, because it is Mario's 40th anniversary, I do think we're going to be getting a lot more content over the course of the year for Mario, but they may be on something of the spin-off scale or even just a smaller scale overall. I think some games that, just to throw out a few names, we could get a look at the next Luigi's Mansion, Luigi's Mansion 4. From a sales perspective, Luigi's Mansion 3 did incredible. I feel like it's early to see it at this particular direct, but because of the 40th anniversary, maybe they want to tease it and it's coming out in something like 2026. That is on the table, in my opinion. A new Yoshi game, a new Captain Toad game. These are also possibilities and smaller spin-off titles that could be announced as something like a Switch 2 game that's also dropping in 2025 or 2026 as part of Mario's 40th anniversary celebration. And while I don't think that we will see as many Switch 1 related pieces of software here, because Switch 2 is backwards compatible, there is always the possibility that more of a collection type of game that comes out for the entire Switch family of systems is marketed to us as part of Mario's 40th anniversary. Although I'm thinking if this is a real project at all, it's just speculation, but I do think that Nintendo might show something like a collection pack Mario game off at a 40th anniversary themed direct around Mario, because I believe that Nintendo is going to want to show more than what they can of Mario Kart and the next 3D Mario leading into their release. So maybe we get like a Mario 40th anniversary branded direct like we saw for the 35th, but nonetheless, it is possible to get something like a new Super Mario Bros. Collection where all of your DS games all the way through New Super Mario Bros. Wii is ported over and easily playable on Nintendo Switch. Since that is not the case today, I would absolutely love to see that. And the big elephant in the room, as always, is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Would that game come over as a standalone port and a piece of software that is sold on Nintendo Switch 1 while Nintendo still needs to support that console in some capacity while they're marketing and building out all their software for Switch 2? I do think that that could be something that we finally see happen, or maybe they just bring back 3D All-Stars for purchase once again, and people who already bought 3D All-Stars last time get the option to add in Mario Galaxy 2 as like a $10 or $20 add-on, as opposed to everybody else having to spend $70 to get it for the first time for Switch 2. These are all possibilities, stretch of ideas, but I do think that with the amount of content that we saw that was Mario related come out on the 35th anniversary year as part of that celebration, that there's a lot of stuff on the table here. And that also leads me to the likelihood of some kind of Mario sports game, because believe it or not, we are up for another one of those in terms of the timeline. If you look at how long it's been now since Mario Strikers Battle League, it's about time for another round of Mario sports games. And I'm hopeful Nintendo does something a little bit different this time, where it's not just super light content Mario sports game and then they slowly update it over time. But, you know, maybe we get Mario Baseball, maybe we get Mario Basketball for the first time, something totally different. You know, I think Nintendo is going to do something with the Mario Sports spin-off games relatively early in the Switch 2's generation, and the likelihood of them showing up at the Direct is actually a strong one, in my personal opinion. I wouldn't expect things like any kind of new Peach game, like a sequel to Showtime. I think it's too early for stuff like that. You know, Wario getting a new game, more Wario Land themed, would be a really cool spin-off Mario project that I would love to see. Been having some fun with Wario Land 4 on the Game Boy Advance as of late, and I would actually super enjoy that style of game coming back in a modern day, but for Wario instead of just these wacky party games that he gets now. So, you know, for me, I do think there's a lot of exciting Mario possibilities, but at the same time, the big two games that I think are more guaranteed than ever before are just Mario Kart and the next 3D Mario. Outside of that, anything is bonus, in my opinion, at this Direct presentation. But I do think that there's also a chance that we get the confirmation that Nintendo will hold some kind of 40th anniversary Direct, maybe over the summertime or something at this presentation, because, you know, the June Nintendo Direct will be kind of a toss-up considering when Nintendo may be launching their console, which would likely be in the month of June or the end of May, something like that. So maybe Mario Focus Direct in June makes the most sense in the world, since the launch schedule of Switch 2 is falling around that time. But That's where I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video. What, if any, Mario games that I mentioned in this video would you be very happy to see hit Nintendo Switch 2? And do you think any of the projects that we named here are likely to be shown off at the Nintendo Switch 2 Focus Direct? Or do you think that outside of the Mario Kart and maybe even the 3D Mario, that there might not be much else here from the Red Plumber on his 40th anniversary year? But make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.